Okay, so I'm going on a special date tonight. My husband's taking me out for our 7-year wedding anniversary. So let's do an eye look that's a little more maybe glam for a special date night that you have or special evening. Anything you want a little more eye makeup than normal. So first I'm going to start out with our Precision Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Medium, and medium works for a lot. I'm finding out medium works for a lot of different skin types, colors, hair color. My sister-in-law, who has very dark brown hair and much darker skin than me, uses this same eye pencil, and it looks great on both of us. Of course, I'm much lighter toned than she is, and I have lighter eyebrows, and it still looks really good. So we're just going to go ahead and fill in. Basically, I'm just filling in the natural shape of my eye. The natural shape of my eyebrow. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do the other one. Now I already have my full face of makeup on basically. As far as my face goes, I have foundation, powder, setting powder, concealer. I went ahead and contoured and blush, and I have a little bit of lipstick on. But nothing is done around my eyes. My eyes are primed. My eyelids are primed. I just go ahead and put a little foundation, just a very tiny layer of foundation, and set it with loose setting powder. And that really seems to help my eyeshadow stay in place all evening. We're going to be gone from about 4 p.m. till probably about 10. I think we're probably just going to go to dinner and maybe something fun afterwards, like a movie, or we love going to the movies. Dinner and a movie is our favorite date night activity. It's what we both enjoy, so that's probably what we'll be doing. So we'll be out for a good 4 or 5 hours, and I want it to last and stay in place. Another tip you can use to let your eyeshadow be more vibrant, stay in place, is use a very light, flesh colored, whatever suits you, eyeshadow tone, and just go ahead and I'm going to take a big, this is a bigger kind of packed together brush. I don't really know how to explain how it, like what the technical terms is to explain that, but that's what it looks like. So you can get a lot of eyeshadow on at once, and I love to use this to, again, one more step to prime my eyes before shadow. I just go ahead and swipe that all over, really cover the whole lid. This is exactly the color of my skin, so it's no color. It's basically like another little layer of translucent powder, but I put it on right before I do eyeshadow, and it really helps. Okay, brows are done, priming is done. I'm using the Moodstruck Addiction Shadow Palette 1, and I went ahead and used Elated to prime, and then I'm going to go in with, let's see what I want to do first. I'm going to do this Swanky. It's very shimmery, but more of a taupe tone than you see on the video. It's a little more taupe in person. It's beautiful. I'm wearing black tonight, so I'm going to try to do a pretty dramatic eye. I mean, I would call this dramatic. It's, for me it is. It might not be for everybody. You might want a little more or a little less, but I'm going to go ahead with Swanky all over the entire lid. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Mommy's busy recording. You want to come say hi? Can you say hi?
Hi, Beth.
We're usually talking to Beth on the phone, so he thinks it's Beth. Okay, can you go watch a little cartoon or something and wait for Mommy to get done, or you can play right here?
I'm watching a new movie upstairs, a scary one, because when she is asleep, I watch a scary one, and when she's up, I don't watch a scary one.
Okay, don't watch a scary movie with Nash. That's really good. He's too little, right?
Yeah, because that's just for big boys.
Yes. Okay. Can you please?
Not for little boys.
Okay. Thank you. Mommy's gonna finish recording and then I'll tell you when I'm done, okay?
When are you gonna get done with your makeup?
Just a few minutes. I'll come get you. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come get you. Okay, so sorry about that. We went ahead with Swanky all over, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take an angled shadow brush and go in with Chipper, this kind of almost like a terracotta brown, like a dark terracotta. We'll just dip right in there just a little bit and go in. I'm gonna go ahead and cover about from here out, and from about my crease up to about there, or try at least. I like to start out with it angled this way, get the crease first, and then I go ahead and flip it this way, if it makes sense, like that, and blend it all the way up just a little further, so it actually shows up on my eye when I'm not doing this. You can kind of see it a little better. Dipped in and got a little more. I was trying to get this done during nap time, but it looks like Mace is already done with his before I planned. Doing the same thing on this eye, but you know, hashtag mom life, it never goes as planned, does it? That's okay. Okay, I'm really trying to just blend as much as I can. Now, see how this is a little darker than this eye, and I don't really want, I'd rather it look more like this. I kind of like how this looks a little lower rather than this going a little higher. If that happens, which it's probably going to, it happens to me all the time, take a clean, this is no color on it, right? A clean, just fluffy, I call it a blending brush, and just blur out those lines with this blush, or with this brush, I'm sorry, not blush. And it really helps to blur out those lines and match your eyes a little closer. Okay. You can never blend too much. I mean, maybe you can blend too much, but it's really hard to blend too much. You can, I guess, make it look a little muddy, is what they say, but it's hard to, because blending is always your best friend with makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a smaller little fluffy brush. The smaller one is good just to get in with concentrated dark colors right around here to really widen my eyes. And I'm gonna go ahead and go in. First, I'm gonna do a layer of this matte brown Forthright. It's very dark matte brown. Now be careful with these darker colors. Obviously, start out with a little and then you can build. It's so easy to build eyeshadow. So just start out with a little bit, and I'm gonna try to blend it right in the outer corner of my eye right here in the crease, and then I'm going to come down around a little bit right here, sort of making like a backward C or a V shape to widen my eyes. Okay, now that's just one little layer, so I'm going to go ahead and try to match it first before I add any more. I like to try to match my eyes up first before adding because it's so much easier. If this one turns out a little darker, I'll just add a tiny bit more. It's just easier to me to blend them and make them match one another. Okay, so adding a little more shadow, one at a time, to blend these out. I'm just going tiny by tiny bit, little by little is what I'm trying to say, not tiny bit by tiny bit. And just blend till the desired look is achieved. As my cousin says, achievement unlocked. Krissa, you know that's straight to you, girl. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Zealous, which is very similar to the shade. It just has a lot of shimmer in it, and I'm gonna try to show you. It doesn't come across, oop, I'm sorry. Doesn't come across on camera as well as I hoped it would, but it's much more shimmery than this. Has almost like a little bit of a gold fleck to it. So beautiful. I'm going to dip in that same brush because it's almost the same color, just has a little more shimmer. So I started out with the matte shade, and I'm going to go in with a layer of this shimmer to build it just a bit darker. Because again, this is more of a glam evening eyeshadow look. This is not how much I would wear, you know, on a regular basis or even during the day. I think it's a little bit too much, but that's just my preference. Okay, so they both basically match for the most part. I'm going to go back in with that clean blending brush again, and I just go ahead and swipe it, kind of swirl it around on a clean tissue, because it will have a little tiny bit of color from, I'm trying to show you, that really helps just clean it off in between blending, and go in and really blend that dark color out all along the edges here. You don't want it to look muddy, but you do want it to look blended. Does that make sense? I think a good way to explain it is the edges of the eyeshadow, like where you stopped, you know, applying it, you really want those to be blurred together. But if you blend all the way down into the crease, all the way, it's just gonna make everything look muddy. So you do want to see each shade, but you also want it to be blended. Practice makes perfect, and it's still not going to be perfect every time, but you'll get there, and it will look good to you, and that's all that matters, or to your husband sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to take that same brush I used. This is the Unique Deluxe brush. It's just more of a flat blending brush, eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go in a little bit more swanky, and I'm just going to put one more layer over here because I want that really to be brighter. And we did cover it up a tiny bit with those darker colors, so I want it to really pop. Just staying on this, like the ball of your eye, that all the way in on the lid from like the crease down, right on your eyelid. Okay, so far so good. Let's take a tiny, these tiny brushes are so good to get really precise with your eyeliner, shadow, or anything. I love these real small brushes. Again, just wiping that on a clean tissue to get any other color off. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean, but it does help to just put a little, just rub it on the tissue a little bit. I feel like it really helps me. Okay, let's go in with, I'm going to put on my, I'm trying to decide what to put down here. And it always helps to pick one of the colors you've done mainly in your crease and drag it a little under here so it all ties together. And normally you would use a dark one, so I'm going to try to, I can't decide whether to do shimmery or matte under here. I mean, what the heck, let's just go shimmery. Normally I would do matte. I'm just a matte girl by nature. But it's a fun date night, so I'm going to use this little mirror this time and try to get up here so you can see what I'm doing. And with this tiny brush, just very gently lining my bottom of my eye. Underneath my eye, I should say. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm pleased with that. Let's do this eye. I'm trying to make sure you can see in the video before I start applying. I was gonna say too, number one, I'm sorry this is a little bit of a longer video. You of course can fast forward and skip to whatever part you'd like. But do allow yourself a little more, give yourself just a little leeway when doing a little bit of a more glamorous eye, because it does take a couple more minutes, and especially when you're first learning, if you haven't done one before or in a long time, give yourself some leeway to fix a mistake if it happens or whatever. Okay, so next I'm going in with this brassy, it's a beautiful gold shimmer, and I'm going to use another teeny tiny brush. It's very flat. This is perfect for inner corner highlight, which again is going to open the eyes. Everything, the way I do my eyeshadow all the time is opening the eye, because my eyes are pretty small. So I like that wide, big baby doll eye look. So this is what I do. You can of course tweak this to however you like for it to look. But we're gonna put some brassy in here. This teeny tiny brush. I love these small brushes. If you haven't already figured that out from me talking about them. But Beth and I, and our cousin Carissa too, because I just mentioned her, so she's on my mind. We love everything tiny. And Leah Rose too, my other cousin. Everything, if there's anything in a really tiny size, like that's what I want to buy, because I love, I don't know why, it's so weird. Okay, so that looks good. If there's a little, if you go, I try to just stay right in this tear duct area. For me, that's like right here. If I go a little bit too low, like down into my concealer, I just clean it up with a clean Q-tip. And that seems to work really well for me. I don't want to highlight this under eye bag for sure. Okay, now let's go in with a little bit of liner. This is our Moodstruck Precision Pencil Eyeliner in black, which is called Perfect. They named it Perfect. And I'm just gonna line from about the middle of my pupil. I'm sorry, I dropped something. From about the middle of my pupil out to the edge. And let's get up here so you can see real well. Just little strokes. Starting from the outside, working in. I'm just gonna do one eye with eyeliner and mascara. That way it's a little bit quicker for you guys, and then I'll post a picture of the finished look after this video is posted as well. Very short strokes, and I am dragging it out just a little bit for a little tiny winged effect, which is supposed to make your eyelashes look bigger and wider at the ends. That's what the whole wing is about. Adding just a little bit more, and I think I'm pleased with that. I like it to be a little more pointy. If it's not pointy enough for your liking, I'm pretty pleased with that. But if it's not, if you're doing it and it's like, ugh, I don't like how that looks, use a little angled brush like this, or a little, even one of these like real skinny thin brushes, any one of those kind of brushes that's going to really make it point, and just go right over it and pull it out however you want, and that will help a lot. Okay, so now it's time for mascara, which is one of my favorite parts of all makeup at any time. It's the one thing I choose. If I'm just putting on like one or two things on a real quick, like, mommy day or whatever, I don't have time, mascara. I go for that every time. Okay, so I have already curled my lashes a little while ago, and that always helps make your eyes look brighter and more awake, and again, wider for me. And I'll just put on one coat of this transplanting gel, which is like a regular mascara that Unique has in this little set that you get with the Moonstruck 3D lashes. And then here's the other tube, that's the fibers. So I'm just going to roll that out real quick. While your transplanting gel is still wet, take your fiber wand, roll it on your hand just a bit, and just get a little bit of those excess fibers off, because you don't want them falling or going anywhere they're not supposed to. And throw those on your lashes real quick. Take your time with this too. This mascara does require a little bit of a learning curve. It's like getting new makeup and trying to put it all on at once when you've never tried it before. So give it a little second. Like I said with like a glam eyeshadow look, give yourself just a little time to work with it. You'll get the hang of it though, and I will too, hopefully. And you can really slap this on quick. Of course, with me talking, it takes a little extra time doing all this. So I'm just slowly working back with another layer of the transplanting gel right over the fibers. Wow. And that's the completed eye look. Other than doing my bottom lashes. Why do I forget my bottom lashes every time? I did this on my other tutorial video too. You guys, if I ever show up to hang out with anyone and my bottom lashes don't have mascara, you'll know why. I always forget them. That's so silly. Okay. And I think that's good. So look at the difference. I'm gonna get up really close. Look at the difference of eyeliner and mascara to just shadow. Like, it just finishes everything off and brings it all together really good. I'm very pleased with this. It's a perfect date night eye look. I did forget one thing. I'm sorry. On top of forgetting my bottom eyelashes, I'm going to use a white eyeshadow with this tiny brush. Just dip it in a little bit, tap off the excess, and this is what I do normally last anyway, so I forgot. Just highlight that brow bone, just a tiny little line. Goes a long way in highlighting the brow bone. And really kind of finishes everything off. Okay, now I'm done, I promise. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And we will catch you later. Bye.